hold the designation of compliance and risk together,
Yes.
and that's the area most founders get frightened about. Talk to me about your experience when you talk or when you encounter people who scared of compliance.
I think there's a natural fear that we might put some spokes in the business, but ideally compliance should be an enabling function. It is no longer
An
the
option.
traditional scary function.
Really?
Because no, I think we are definitely enablers. We try to ensure that the guardrails are in place to grow the business on a long term. So business continuity would not be affected if you follow the right compliance, and in the long run, it's always a compliant organization which would win the race.
Very
so
interesting.
I think many founders have realized that there's a lot of investment in this space, and I do see founders being more receptive to risk and compliance points, because I think the regulator has pretty much proved that non-compliant businesses just won't run. So you see it all around, right?
Yeah, I heard someone saying on the panel that compliance is something that's not optional, it's foundational.
It is foundational, and it is everyone's responsibility, not just
That's
the
correct.
compliance function.
That's correct.
Yeah,
That's correct.
yeah.
I agree with you. Now, when we talk about compliance, you also said that regulators are also making sure to make it more smooth, more inclusive,
Yes.
more open, more agile. What do you think, or how do you look at it when we talk about compliance? Because the rules, regulations are also newer according
Yeah.
to the newer innovation.
Yeah.
So that equation is different altogether. How do
Absolutely.
you see it? Where do you see a balance?
So I think, there are areas which are deep red. In the regulatory space also, there are areas which are very deep red. I would say knowing your customer, AML rules, these are very deep red. And there are areas where you have some levers which you can move to your competitive advantage. So I think recognizing those and staying safe, putting the right guardrails, that's how it works. And not trying to do anything funny in areas which are deep red. So that pragmatism has to be there. Without that pragmatism, you just can't win the race.
Yeah, very realistic and practical
You
view.
have to be practical.
From your risk officer perspective, how do you look at AI intervention in all of the fintech products? Mostly, I mean, everybody is trying to get hands-on AI or get it embedded in their product in some sense.
So,
how do you see it? How nascent AI is in its form, capability, and how do you associate risk with that?
So I think, it's probably two sides of the coin. While there are a lot of positives to AI, and I think companies which don't embrace AI would be left far behind. We would have to. That is going to be the future.
That's good.
But from a risk perspective, these deep fakes, when we do video KYC, many of our fintech organizations, so deep fakes, these could cause us a lot of trouble, and we need to watch out for all these what I would call deterrents, which could lead to frauds and impersonation using AI.
Just before we close our conversation with our final question, one question. You have been a banker all your life, yeah?
Yeah.
You have invested a lot of your time being with the established banks. How do you look at those banks today? How open are they in terms of inclusion when it comes to newer innovations?
I think in terms of inclusion, I would want to talk about Spice Money specifically, because I think we've worked very well in the financial inclusion space, and we've penetrated to areas where most of the traditional banks have not been able to reach. So with not only penetrating, we've shown that you can have inclusion, you can have employment generation, you can have profitability, as well as you can run a self-sustaining business, and you can touch many lives in deep Bharat. So our aim as such is to reach to every village and every corner of India. We've been doing that pretty well, and I think I would call it more of a support to the banks, we've definitely been able to demonstrate that financial inclusion with profitability and responsibility, it is very much possible. So Spice Money is an example, I would say,
Good
to
to
be
know.
emulated.
Good to know. Just the final question. This was something that's long-term vision or long-term goal.
It's very much in place even now.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But if I push you, what are some of your focus areas in, let's say, next 12 months or let's say next 18 months? What are your growth plans?
So I think the growth plans are around moving from, let's say, certain products where we are distributing. We would be moving to products which we create on our own. So we have, RBI licenses, perpetual license to do our PPI. We just got it because of being, I would say, on the right side of compliance. Otherwise, generally the renewal is for 1 year. So we've been very fortunate on that count. We are a BBPS player. So I think focusing more on our own products along with the distribution products, that is one. From a risk side, I think cyber security is one area which we are focusing on, and we are also looking at other emerging areas which help us grow our business. Some of it is very nascent for me to reveal right now, but I think you will see Spice Money making a lot of waves.
Lovely. Looking forward to it. We wish you all the very best. Thank you. Thank you so
very
much.
much.